Hey guys, welcome to the Late Late Show. I'm your host Matt from Lakers UK. We are back again. It's been about maybe a fortnight, something like that. A lot of things have been happening, been very busy to be honest, and just been having a little bit of downtime from Lakers UK, if I'll be really honest with you all, just because the off season's so short. We haven't really had an off season, have we? It's just straight back into next season, this season, whatever it is. Anyway, it's coming around very quickly now, especially with preseason and free agency and things like that. Just gets a little bit tiring sometimes, even though we all love the Lakers. But we're back again. When I say we, obviously it is Jonathan Kiernan, who's by my side once again, as he is pretty much all the time nowadays. How are you doing, mate? You good?
All good. The last 24 hours have been very kind to the Lakers, so I'm in a great mood.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to get onto that and break it all down very soon. Just before we do, though, and we do get into all the good chat, I do just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. So as you can see at the bottom, Manscaped helps support this podcast. They are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. They offer precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. You can get a discount through Lakers UK. Head over to manscaped.com, enter the code LakersUK20. That'll get you 20% off plus free shipping. Look around there. They've got a lot of great products, so go and check that out. Also, go to LakersUK.com/partners, and you'll also have a discount code to Fanatics UK and NBA Store. So we've actually got it here to actually show you. So head over to LakersUK.com, select the relevant link on Fanatics UK or NBA Store Europe, whichever one you want to go to. And there are promo codes that can go and get you discounts. It is usually Lakers UK 20. Lakers UK 10 is the one that gets you discount. Lakers UK 20 is Manscaped. Lakers UK 10 will get you a discount at Fanatics UK and NBA Store Europe. But just a little bit of word for you all. There are better discount codes out there. So if you go through them links and then use the relevant code that is on NBA Store Europe or Fanatics UK on that day, I think they're running 20% off at the moment, which is obviously you want to take advantage of that. And at the moment, we've just before we've done this, gone live on this podcast, the new City Edition jerseys have gone live for the Lakers. So you should be able to see that now. It's kind of quite new that we've kind of got all this interactive thing on the screen. So that's the new City Edition jersey for the Lakers. Before we get into LeBron James and Anthony Davis, Jonathan, what do you think of the new City Edition jersey?
The class. Like I think I would have preferred being a blue jersey with white lettering, like the kind of the Crenshaw kind of one that they did before that LeBron wore. That would have been amazing. But no, they're absolutely beautiful jerseys. I can see myself buying this one. So yeah, no surprise. It's a beautiful jersey by the Lakers and well played.
Yeah, I think so as well. I like the Crenshaw ones. I also I'm a big fan of the Minneapolis ones, which they actually ran back with not long ago with the yellow trim. I really love the blue jersey with the yellow trim. I think is really nice. But this one looks nice. It kind of reminds me of like an iced out type of look. But I really love purple and gold. I love the Lakers, but they're not really color friendly to wear out and about. So I do love a good white jersey or a black jersey or, just a neutral color. So I think I'll probably get myself this one. I just want to see if AD will be number 3 or number 23. I think he'll still be number 3, but I just want clarification on that before I get the jersey.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It looks it does look quite Christmassy. Like it seems like it's the perfect time of year to be dropping these jerseys, pick it up just before Christmas. But yeah, beautiful jerseys. And I 100% agree. I'm not going to be buying LeBron or AD jersey until that situation gets solved.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go back to the podcast. That's a little bit of things to do. Like, obviously, you guys watching on the live stream were able to actually see some of that interactive on the screen. So do comment, do let us know what that was like. I think it's quite a cool little feature. For you guys listening on the podcast platforms, you would have seen absolutely nothing. So as we continue, where do we really start? Let's go in time order. Let's go with LeBron. So obviously yesterday at the time of recording, which was Wednesday, news broke that LeBron James and the Lakers had agreed to an $85 million extension, according to Shams Charania, who was the one who broke the news. His deal will now run until the 2022-23 season. Excellent news, unexpected news. Jonathan, you roll with this one.
Yeah, like it came out of nowhere. I think we were all waiting on the AD deal. Like I think every single Laker fan and probably most NBA fans were just waiting to hear about AD signing, whether it's a 1-on-1, a 2-on-1, or like a 5-year deal. And then this came out of absolutely nowhere and just kind of blew off our hair back. Like we're like, whoa. Well, like I don't think any of us are complaining about the deal. Like we've got LeBron for an extra 2 seasons, which is phenomenal. Like we have one of the best players in history locked in for pretty much the next 3 to 4 years, which is amazing. Like absolutely thrilled with it. It's to a certain extent it is a bit bittersweet because with LeBron signing that extension, it pretty much I won't say pretty much. There's a very good chance that either Giannis is re-signing with the Bucks or they just don't believe he's made it known that
he's going elsewhere, maybe.
Yeah, or even possibly that there's like, right, LeBron wants to get paid, AD wants to get paid, Giannis wants to get paid. We'll just fill the roster with like veteran minimum guys, which is not ideal. We'd be giving up a lot of players that we really like and really think are impactful players over the next couple of years. But yeah, it's still a great deal, and I think more so than anything, the deal gives LeBron the best opportunity to kind of play with his son, Bronny, which is, he said he's always wanted it would be a dream of his to play with his son, and this puts him in the ballpark of potentially being able to play with him. So yeah, great move for the Lakers. And I know been hearing a lot of people saying that it's like, oh, they're giving LeBron the Kobe deal. To a certain extent, maybe, but LeBron is still at the peak of his powers. When they gave that deal to Kobe, he was coming off an Achilles tear. He was kind of on the back line of his career, which we respect him at the time. He was definitely on the come down. Like his prime had been going on for a ridiculous amount of time. But yeah, he was definitely winding down. And they gave him a deal. And I think this deal, that Kobe deal, has really set the Lakers going forward. Like it was a kind of a statement deal that they made. They gave Kobe, coming off an Achilles tear, a 2-year, basically the exact same deal they gave LeBron, a 2-year, 48-something million. No, yeah, they gave him. Well, obviously, this is just a big deal, but that was just to say, like, listen, you've done right by us. We're going to do right by you. We respect our superstars. When they play hard for us, we reward them in kind. And this sends out a message to the rest of the NBA that even when you're kind of getting older, if you still play to the best of your ability, if you still come up and do the best you can for the Lakers, you will be rewarded. And it's great to see. It's great to see know that LeBron is going to be a Laker for the foreseeable future. There won't be any kind of jump back and forth whether he's going to go back to Cleveland, whether he's going to leave us. No, he's made his decision. And this is the first time since his rookie deal he's ever done that. He's ever signed an extension. Usually it's 1-on-1, or if he went to Miami, but this is the first time he re-signed for an extension. And that is a big vote of confidence in Rob Pelinka. Big vote of confidence in Jeanie Buss and Frank Vogel. So yeah, fantastic deal for the Lakers and thrilled to see it.
Yeah, I think when you're securing the talents of someone like LeBron James for the foreseeable future, there's not really much to complain about. And I think the most important thing is it extends that championship window. So LeBron James is, I'm not sure prime's the right word, but he's playing in this ridiculous way still at 35, going on 36 next year. I believe that's correct. And it opens up the championship window to keep him with the Lakers, but then also that quote-unquote Kobe effect that we're speaking about, I think it extends that championship window beyond LeBron, that just lets star free agents, whatever, that the Lakers take care of their superstars exactly like what you were saying. You come to the Lakers, you will be adored and you will be treated correctly. Unlike some other franchises, obviously we've seen it recently with the Boston Celtics. That isn't a dig at the Boston Celtics. That is just facts. You saw Anthony Davis's dad prior to the Lakers trading for AD, saying that the way the Celtics treated Isaiah Thomas has a little bit of an effect, even a few years on, when it comes to star players choosing their locations for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I think it extends the championship window right now. Who wouldn't want LeBron James on their roster until he's 39 years old? He's probably going to run pretty strong right up until then, if not pretty close. And I was saying to you earlier off air that I think it's going to be an interesting transition. So at the moment, it's LeBron and AD. That's the duo. This timeline with LeBron's extension, I think it'll switch over to AD and LeBron. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think AD will become Batman, LeBron will become Robin as he goes on his downwards years as he eyes retirement. And I think at 39 years old, when his contract retires, most Laker fans will expect that will be it with LeBron. Bronny will come into the league, his son, and LeBron will be a free agent to go wherever Bronny ends up. If he gets drafted, chances are he'll get drafted because a team knows that if they get Bronny, they're probably going to end up getting LeBron. So watch him be like number one pick in the NBA draft. But yeah, so I think but if that happens and he wins another championship or two with the Lakers, just let him go off into the sunset. He can go off and join whoever. But yeah, I think it extends the championship window for now and beyond. Again, the culture change around the Lakers has been huge over the past few years. And this is that culture change taking effect years from now. It's Rob Pelinka that's not just extending this championship window, but it's extending the culture within the organization beyond now. They're not thinking about defending this championship right now. They're thinking about winning a championship in 4 or 5 years' time as well. Yeah. Obviously that will be out of LeBron's timeline, but you know what I mean in terms of another superstar coming in.
Yeah.
So
before we move on, I want to stick the knife into the Celtics. You won't, but I will. So
okay.
You lost Kyrie Irving, you lost Gordon Hayward, and you lost Al Horford. There's something wrong with your organization if you're losing 3 stars who want to leave, who made it visibly even I understand he got a deal in Charlotte with Gordon Hayward got a deal in Charlotte. It does not bode well for your franchise if 3 legitimate stars at the time who went to your organization are borderline clamoring to leave. Kyrie, Kyrie's a bit of a weird guy, to be fair, but he made it very clear, I'm going to stay in Boston. First chance he got, bolted to
Brooklyn.
But he bolted to Brooklyn. Gordon Hayward, he literally turned down money, so he obviously got long-term money in the end.
Yeah, but it's a risk.
It's a risk. And I understand that they Boston that's no disrespect to Boston. They are still legitimately a very, very good team. But there has to be something incorrect if you're constantly, and this is for the last couple of years, the Boston Celtics have been holding all of them draft picks, all of them trade assets, and have been okay, we want to go for Kawhi. Okay, we want to go for Anthony Davis. Okay, we want to go for Paul George. And to a certain extent, them saying that all the time puts each and every one of their players under a lot of pressure because, I could be the one going out the door if this is the case. And to a certain extent, that was how Magic did things when he was with the Lakers. He kind of
D'Angelo Russell and things like that.
Yeah, with respect to Magic, one of the best Lakers of all time, probably the best point guard of all time. He did it wrong. He was visibly making everyone know, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, whoever you want, apart from LeBron James, is for sale. That's not how you do business. How you do business is you make them think, you make the other team think they're getting the better deal when you feel you're getting the better deal. We handed over a lot of players for Anthony Davis, but we did it knowing that Anthony Davis was going to sign with the Lakers long term, which he has. We knew that it put us in a better position right away and long term to win a championship. And more than likely, we wouldn't have probably felt comfortable with paying Brandon Ingram. Well, obviously, we've seen what he's done now. He deserves his full max
No,
contract.
he wouldn't have done that in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and congrats to Brandon Ingram. He fully deserves that full max deal. I don't think we would have been prepared to give him that full max deal and then have to pay Lonzo in a year's time as well. Would have been bad. I would have loved to have keeping Josh Hart. I think he would have been a very valuable piece in this Lakers team if he was still on the team. But obviously, we had to make the moves to get get AD. But yeah, that's how Lakers do business, and Pelinka has been doing everything right so far. And re-signing LeBron long term just kind of gives that extra stamp that like Pelinka is just killing it at this moment in time. He's really just absolutely smashing out of the park.
I think when it comes to draft picks as well, the Celtics have been hoarding all these draft picks, and the chances are that even if you have like a top 3 pick, the chances of that player becoming like a generational talent is very slim. We've seen quite a lot of first overall picks in the past like 5-10 years or so that haven't really done a great deal, especially when you fall down to the second pick and the third pick. They're players that aren't really guaranteed star careers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to think of it on the standpoint of the Lakers just traded, what was it, like the 27th pick, something like that, and Danny Green for Dennis Schroeder. You got to put in context that is that 27th pick going to be as good as Dennis Schroeder, because that's necessarily what you're trading it for. It isn't. That 27th pick, the chances of that player becoming better than Dennis Schroeder is very slim. And even if they do, you're probably talking about 5-6 years down the line, really, in terms of an actual the development of a player, which takes time. You know what I mean? So I've said it on this podcast quite a lot, and I'll keep banging on the drum. If you hold plenty of assets, draft assets, i.e. Oklahoma, i.e. New Orleans Pelicans, trade them. Keep a few, but there's no point in hoarding all of these draft picks. Even if you draft them, your roster isn't big enough to even hold them all. You know what I mean? They're going to be on 2 ways. They're going to be in the G League. It's just a waste of assets. You might as well go and trade for them. And that's what the Lakers did, which will lead on to the next topic, which has obviously led on to LeBron James re-signing. So obviously the next topic, as everyone can see by the little banner at the bottom if you're watching live, or by the title of the podcast episode, is today, and this is Thursday, Anthony Davis and the Lakers have agreed to finalizing, I will say, a 5-year, $190 million max contract. The deal will include an early termination option prior to the 2024-25 season, but that's 4 seasons of Anthony Davis locked in. That's a huge commitment from Anthony Davis. That's a huge commitment for an NBA superstar that will keep the Lakers relevant for a very long time to come.
We've made a lot of good moves this offseason. That is by far the best one. This is above all else. Like we traded for Dennis Schroeder. We got Montrezl Harrell. We got Marcus Gasol. We got Wes Matthews. We re-signed LeBron James. This is by a distance the best.
Did you say KCP?
KCP. Can't forget KCP.
Needs a shout out.
The third star. Can't forget KCP. But this is far and away the best move by the Lakers. Exactly like you said, this secures the Lakers' long-term future for the foreseeable future after LeBron. And this is another vote of confidence from Anthony Davis and from like an extension, LeBron James and Clutch. This is just a vote of confidence saying that, okay, you've done incredibly right by us. You've looked after our guys. You've put our people in LeBron James and AD in the best position to win. You've built a team around them that covers up their weaknesses and maximizes their strengths. And it's just absolute perfect thing. I'll bring up the Giannis point. A lot of people might be slightly disappointed that, well, I don't understand how you can be disappointed that you have a superstar for the next 5 seasons. But
disappointed in something that wasn't even guaranteed to happen in the first place.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if Giannis doesn't resign, it probably signals he's going to Dallas or he's going to Miami. I'd say Dallas. Like him and Doncic for the next 10, 15 years would be sick. Like that'd be cool. But I think there's a lot of weaknesses there. Well, I'll move on from that. Anyway, yeah, Giannis is a bit disappointing but it's still possible. Unlikely, possible. But yeah, AD chose the right thing. He now is locked up long term. People have said in the past, AD's a bit injury prone. This gives him long term stability and just say, like, right, even if I get injured, I'm covered financially for the rest of my life. My children's children will be covered financially for the rest of their life. He's now got that money where he can be like, okay, I can I've finally gotten my big paycheck in the NBA. Well, he got a decent sized paycheck last time around as well.
Yeah, and he'll probably get another one after this as well. I think he's
100%.
lining up for between 31 and if he signs to like a 4-year deal, it'll be 35. So he definitely got another max deal after this as well.
And the thing about AD is, and I think I said this about a couple of big men, AD is athletic, don't get me wrong, but his game is not built on his athleticism. His game is built on his intelligence, his length, and his ability to kind of get in front of people defensively and stretch the floor. Like he's a phenomenal player. The thing that I think people were worried about with LeBron was, what when LeBron started to come to the Lakers? Oh, we're getting past his peak LeBron. We're getting LeBron who can't jump off of 1 foot anymore. We're getting kind of more like center power forward LeBron than small forward LeBron, or kind of layup over dunk LeBron. Like that's not what AD. His game has never been precipice. It's never been built on super athletic. It helps significantly, but his game's not built on that. But yeah, it's such like I can't get over how like pleased like with the LeBron signing yesterday, fist bumped with the AD one this morning. I nearly shouted the house down.
Yeah, I was just in shock. I was like, just it's jaw dropping. You know what I mean? But the thing is one thing which is very important to mention is that as time was going on, there was kind of a bit of a belief that AD was going to sign long term the longer time was going on, because what you got to bear in mind, it's been a week since Thanksgiving, and it's been a week since we were given that time frame of when he was going to sign. And if LeBron is locked into his prior deal, which was due to end after this coming season, I think it was, obviously with a player option, which obviously leads up to the Giannis free agency, there wasn't really a lot for AD to think about if Giannis was on the table. You know what I mean? You just sign that 1-on-1 deal for the end of next season. It was quite simple. So as time was going on and the longer time was going on, the more I was starting to think, wait 1 minute, we're going to get a big deal here. We're going to get a big commitment. You were going to get a 4 or 5 year deal. But obviously that is so significant that you don't really want to talk yourself into thinking that, you know what I mean? But I think upon the LeBron news yesterday, it was quite clear that this was going to come. I don't know about you, but I was expecting it. You know, I just kind of wanted the confirmation that it was going to happen. And it's an absolutely phenomenal commitment from AD. We were saying on the previous pod that nothing's guaranteed nowadays. We saw with DeMarcus Cousins. He was set for a max contract. He got injured. That injury has led to an injury that's led to an injury that's led to an injury. And he's probably not going to be the same again. I'd love to see him back in the NBA, but he's literally on his last chance now. We've seen Klay Thompson that he's already locked into a big, long deal, but he goes and gets injured seriously, and that injury has led to another injury. And there's question marks around him in the future now. He's looking at another long layoff. So which one do you want to be? Do you want to be DeMarcus Cousins or do you want to be Klay Thompson? Everyone's going to pick Klay Thompson. And AD had the opportunity to be Klay Thompson. I hope he doesn't get injured, but you can't guarantee these things, especially in the modern NBA, as physical as the modern NBA is, as fine-tuned as these athletes are. You know, a simple muscle tear can happen really, really easily, let alone an ACL injury or an Achilles injury or something like that we see not quite frequently, but we do see, you know, season by season. It just secures him. And I think it's an incredible commitment from him, and it's incredible commitment from the Lakers. It works on both sides. It falls under that LeBron James, we take care of our stars. And here we go. We have LeBron James, Anthony Davis locked in for the next 3 seasons. We have Anthony Davis locked in for another season beyond that, and potentially another season beyond that. It's absolutely phenomenal. I think it works out perfectly with that little bit of an overlap for LeBron James to leave, go off into the sunset, hopefully with another championship or 2 with the Lakers, and another star to come in, because he'll be freeing up about 40 million in cap space, which should be perfect for another max star to come in.
Absolutely. I'm looking at it's 20, so he'll be off the cap in 2023. Is that correct?
So
the 2023.
Oh, yes,
2023 going into 2024.
Yeah, LeBron James. This summer of
So I'm just going through some of the people that'll be available then.
The summer of 2023 is what you should be looking at.
Yeah. So players such as James Harden, John Wall, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Chris Middleton, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie Irving, Kristaps Porzingis, Kevin Love, Andrew Wiggins, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and D'Angelo.
It's quite stacked. Yeah, it's quite stacked.
And they're all, apart from Porzingis and Middleton, they're all unrestricted free agents.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of, that sets Lakers up very, very nicely for my guess is the vast majority of them players sign contracts extensions between now and then and come off the market. Like it usually happens the year before.
A few of them would be too far gone, I think. Someone like Russell Westbrook, I think, would have deteriorated a lot by then. Someone like Kevin Love would have deteriorated a lot by then.
Yeah, Russ will be 34.
He's already deteriorating, though.
Yeah, that's very true. James Harden will be 34. Jimmy Butler, 34. So, a lot of players are getting older. Bradley Beal.
If James Harden gets traded and then signs an extension wherever we go, you know what I mean? Like you said, there's things that can happen, but it sets us up perfectly.
Oh, 100%. And that's like the ideal thing. And I'm just looking at the cap space for next season for the Lakers.
With KCP locked in, I don't think we got a lot.
So we've got LeBron for 39. We've got AD for 32.7. And then we have KCP for 12. I'm going to move on to the next season. Yeah, we're not going to have much cap space, if any. But the one thing we can do, and I think we more than likely will do, is we are going to, if likes of Dennis Schroeder plays well next season, more than likely he'll get an extension. If Montrezl Harrell plays well next season, he'll get an extension. What we can constantly do, especially if we're competing for titles, we can just go like we did this season, be like, okay, who's made their money in the NBA? Who wants to win a ring? Who hasn't won a ring? Who can we chase that? Even if it's just for that 1 year period. Sorry. If we want to go after someone, we can. This puts us in the best position possible. Like we're not. If we had, the thing is, obviously, we all would have loved a big three. We would have loved to have had Giannis, AD, and LeBron. Like that would have been amazing. And then when LeBron retired, getting another star in there, that would have been like jaw-droppingly amazing. Unrealistic in the scheme of things.
But in hindsight, with the pandemic and everything that's happened now, it's unrealistic.
Yeah, it would have been jaw-droppingly amazing where you're just like, I can't believe. Like LeBron, even LeBron at that age, AD and Giannis, I can say arguably it would have been the greatest big three ever assembled. Like you can definitely argue it's one of, if not the best big three ever assembled. You have two defensive juggernauts. You have two players. Look, AD should have won this year Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis, current Defensive Player of the Year. You have two people that have won multiple MVP titles. Like that would have been just so sick.
I think one thing which I want to kind of come in, sorry for throwing you off, was that I think one thing which I find important is you secure the talent you've got now. So Giannis was never like set to come to the Lakers. He's never said it. He hasn't rejected a contract officially, whatever. You know what I mean? He might still reject that contract and become available in free agency. We have secured what we've got. You can't put it down to chance, i.e. Kawhi Leonard. You know, I mean, when there's a Kawhi Leonard to be had, and you have the flexibility to keep yourselves open to acquire a Kawhi Leonard or Giannis, for example, you do it. If it all matches up, is what I'm saying. But if, you know, you don't want to, you know, pardon my French, you don't want to piss AD off and then like he goes elsewhere. You know what I mean? So you take care of what you've got, secure him in. We've got him for the next 4 seasons now, potentially 5, potentially beyond that. You might have secured the remainder of AD's career in hindsight. You know what I mean? So I think you take care of the now. You know, Giannis would have been great, whatever. We don't know what's happening. With the fact that the Lakers have committed to these deals would suggest to me that something's happened behind the scenes. And also to further back that up, Bam Adebayo has signed an extension in Miami, and they were another front runner for him. So why would they take cap space off the books for, no pun intended, for 2021? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So they're two teams that have quite clearly made moves that don't really make sense in the pursuit of Giannis, which would suggest to me that something's happening behind the scenes, which you have been saying for a couple of weeks now. Giannis looks like he's going to re-sign in Milwaukee, or he's going to be going somewhere that isn't Miami or the Lakers. Probably re-signing in Milwaukee.
Well, if I had to guess, it's going to be Milwaukee. I think Giannis is like, he seems like a legitimately stand-up guy. Like he's going to, like the Milwaukee Bucks, even though he didn't win a championship and they kind of messed up the Bogdanovich trade, they have done right by Giannis his entire career. And he's never. I don't think he's going to leave. One, I don't think they're going to leave him high and dry. Two, if he was going to leave him high and dry, he would make sure that he secured the money more than likely first, and then look for a trade. And he wouldn't move. He wouldn't force a trade. He wouldn't kind of push his way to say no, I'm going here. He would make sure that his team, that the Bucks got the best deal possible. He just doesn't seem like that kind of guy who's going to just mess everything up for the Bucks long term. He'll want them to be as good as they can be and leave the organization in kind of a good stead if he was to move on. But yeah, it's not like the Lakers have just done themselves the best scenario. If they want to get Giannis, and if Giannis is available, they can. They still can. It will require a lot of kind of
movement and things like that. Yeah,
it wouldn't be ideal for anyone involved, and you could potentially get like a pissed off person in Rich Paul if you moved KCP. But again, KCP would have made his money.
Yeah, his money's locked, isn't it?
His money's guaranteed, so he's secure in that sense. But I think they've set themselves up in the perfect situation. If they get Giannis, they'll be thrilled. We will all be thrilled. But if they don't get Giannis, they've prepared themselves with Dennis Schroeder. They've prepared themselves with Montrezl Harrell. They've given Gasol a deal. They've given Wes Matthews a deal. And they're going to make sure that they're going to have available cash in the summers of 2022, 2023. And don't be surprised, and I'm going to call this now, if they move on from Giannis, which looking very likely it's going to be happening, they're going to sign a few players to 1 or 2 year deals next year. They won't go for the 1-on-1s anymore.
We won't discuss this. We'll get onto it in a future episode. But remember, Caruso's got another season, and he's going to be up for a new deal next summer. With the way he's playing, he'll be due to probably not get paid, but he'll probably be due for 100% increase on what he's currently on.
Oh, he's getting the max. Of course, he's getting the max.
But you know what I mean? So you got to find money for that, and we will speak about this probably on the next podcast. So for anyone listening, we won't get into this right now. I think the Lakers extend Kuz now, and I think there's the flexibility for them to do that. I think it keeps him as an asset to trade a bit more, that he's actually locked in. And to be honest with you, to be quite frank, without Giannis in the conversation, I would quite like him on the Bucks for the foreseeable future. Again, no pun intended. I need to stop saying Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, the actual salary Bucks, confusing. But you know what I mean? We've got plenty of options moving forward for the foreseeable. Again, extending that championship window. But we'll get into Kuz. I want to like have a full podcast segment on him, which we'll probably do in the next episode. So we'll save that for content. I'm pretty much inclined to probably get out of here and read a few comments. Have you got anything to add on to what we've discussed? LeBron long term, AD long term. Lakers have got new City edition jerseys. I think it's about everything.
Yeah, that's about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything we need
right now.
Yeah, just again, a great summer for Los Angeles Lakers. We've done nothing, but likes of Pelinka.
We've done a lot of podcasts.
We've done a lot of podcasts, but yeah, again, just big up to the Lakers. They've crushed it this entire season, and I know we've brought it up before in the past. Like, I couldn't be happier for Rob Pelinka. Like, I really couldn't be happier for the guy.
And Jeannie Buss.
And Jeannie Buss. Like, two people over the course of the last 2 years have been disrespected. And I think I've been angry at them previously, but my anger was kind of misguided when I should have probably been guided at Magic. Like, Magic is just like, Magic is this. Like, he's a star kind of guy, and it's very, very easy to like him. Like, he's a very likable person. But when he was pulling the strings, the Lakers just weren't flowing. Like, things just seemed to go wrong. And a lot of the blame went on the shoulders of Jeannie Buss for bringing him in and being like, oh, he's not qualified to do what he's doing. You're just doing favoritism. Then it's very easy to blame Rob Pelinka, because Magic is very good at kind of bending the narrative in his favor. But what they've done over the last 2 years has just been nothing short of remarkable. Going from a lottery team to a championship caliber team to a championship winning team to securing the long-term future of the Lakers with AD, securing the short, medium, and long-term with LeBron James, to bringing in different pieces who are going to potentially be very impactful for the Lakers, not just this season, but going forward, in Harrell and Schroeder, to getting Gasol on a basically like they definitely did some cap gymnastics with Gasol. Gasol more likely is going to retire at the end of this season, but they'll give him the full amount that they were going to give him for the 2 years in just one payment.
Yeah,
like that was this very intelligent kind of cap gymnastics on their part, knowing that they want a starting caliber center. They can't afford a starting caliber center right now. They want Harold to come off the bench. They want their bench to be booming. They got their guy, and it was just absolutely perfect. So yeah, just massive respect. After such a turbulent year for the Lakers, it's just, this is like, the winning the championship was the cherry on the sundae. Now, like, LeBron and AD signing and Montrezl Harrell and Gasol, and that's just sprinkles on top.
We've got another 5 Sundays at the table now, instead of the one, you know what I mean? So it's fantastic. I think what I'm going to do is let's quickly get through a few of these comments, and then we'll head out of here. So we've got Phil Sizemore. Morning, gents. Morning, Phil. It's not actually morning for us here. Good evening. It is 6:43 where I am, and 5:43 where Jonathan is. So yeah, we're all on different time zones. We've got Mandeep, 3P incoming. Can't wait for the season to get started. Let's go late show. Yeah, hopefully. Earlier on Lakers UK Twitter, I did predict a 5P. So I think we're a little bit off with our predictions there. But, I'll take a 3P. We've got
Bill Russell.
Yeah, we've got Massimo here with a few comments coming up. We know that the Lakers, what we've got in our stars, say, yeah, happy with this. Let's run it back. Let's go. And he also said, love the discussion here. Great one, guys. And he's actually come up with a good question here. He said, when does training camp start? So as far as I'm aware, it's sometime this week. I don't think we've actually been given a day. I think it's kind of really fluid. Is it Sunday? The weekend?
I'm really certain it's 12th.
Oh, no. Well, that's when I think we've got preseason games and everything.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
So training camp, I think it's this weekend. I think it's Sunday. I don't know. I had a little bit of a search whilst Jonathan was speaking. And I saw the questions coming in, and
media day was actually though.
Was it actually media day?
Yeah.
Or was it? Oh, right, okay, right. That must be like the least advertised media day ever. I've seen a few quotes coming out and things like that, but it's all like Zoom and things like that, I think.
I think that's the reason why it's so low key. It's because one, LeBron's not going to be there. Two, AD's not going to be there. So it's
Man,
probably been a lot low key.
I really love media day as well, me.
So
Like
do
I
I.
like proper tune in and I have all the streams on and all the interviews go live and things like that. And I love media day. So, it's one of many things that COVID has taken away from us.
Maybe we'll be there next year.
Maybe. If we're not in there in the building, we can like stalk outside, I suppose. So,
Yeah. I
either
love you,
way, we can
LeBron.
kind of be there. Yeah. One thing which is actually really good before we head out, because we're going on a little bit longer than I thought we would, is LeBron is Uninterrupted. His interview on Uninterrupted that he's just done. For anyone listening to this, go and check that out. It's on YouTube. It's a fantastic listen. He speaks about like life in the bubble. He speaks about the players that the Lakers have brought back. Speaks a lot about wine and tequila, which I'm not really into myself, but he's got a lot more money than I have, so he can probably enjoy them luxuries a bit more. Yeah, so check that out. Right, let's get out of here. Are you good?
All good, man.
Right, before we head off, do you want to let people know where they can find you, and then I'll do the outro?
Yeah, I want to make an official announcement to everyone. I will no longer be spelling out my Twitter handle anymore. At this stage, I think you all might have just copped on, and I guess John. I'll do it one more time. I can't help myself. It's Jonathan K NBA, JONATHANK NBA.
Yeah, so that's
Instagram.
Yeah, that's Jonathan with a ZBH. And then that should find him everywhere. But yeah, let's get out of here. Thank you so much for coming on and joining a podcast that long overdue, but we'll do another one very soon. Right, before we head off, I'll say a huge thank you to our Patreon members, Amandeep Fardi, both Jonathans, Benjamin, Massimo, Cole, Adam, Phil, Steve, and Jamie. Your support is very much appreciated. If you're interested in supporting us whilst unlocking the full Lakers UK community plus perks, visit www.patreon.com/LA Lakers UK. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to tell some of your Laker friends about it. You can find the Late Late Show on all major podcast platforms. Please follow, like, share where possible, and leave a review. That would be very much appreciated. Be sure to follow Lakers UK over on Twitter and Instagram under LA Lakers UK. Check out our website, lakersuk.com. And we'll catch you next time. See you later, guys.